Good morning. I want to talk to you today about awareness. Awareness is just attention, paying attention, becoming aware of. Most of us pay attention to our thoughts and our thinking. That's what we're paying attention to, or even while we're doing something like walking or working, we're thinking and we're paying attention to all the thoughts in our head. So as we pay attention to those, they alter our emotional state and our physical state, our physiology. Whatever you're paying attention to alters the rest of you. That's why it's so important to pay attention to the things that are around you rather than to your mind. The mind is always immersed in stories and judgment and comparison. And none of that is real. The thoughts that you're thinking aren't real. When you start to pay attention to the here and now, to the things outside of your mind, so to the trees and the birds singing and the grass under your feet. You could even pay attention as you're walking to your feet. If you put your attention on your feet, you become aware of each step you take. And that's a very grounding exercise. Try that next time you're walking. Instead of being immersed in what your mind is doing, put all of your focus on your feet. Pay attention to your feet. I don't mean look at them. I mean become aware of your feet. Become aware of your walk. And as you walk, that awareness brings you into this moment, the moment that you are walking. And you become aware of how your feet feel with the ground underneath them. You become aware of your body. You become aware of the boots you're wearing, or the shoes. There's an awareness that happens. And that awareness is the present moment. So we all have the opportunity to be present, and these little tiny ways of doing it give us moments of presence. And as you practice that throughout your day and throughout your week and throughout your month and throughout the year, you'll find that in a year you have much more awareness and you're much more present than you've ever been before. So another great exercise, instead of going into your mind to think about this and think about that, and actually you're not thinking, your mind is doing all the thinking, you're just watching it. You've got your attention on your mind and you're watching all those thoughts and all those opinions and all the things that are going through the mind, and some of that causes you to react. And when you react, your whole world changes, your physiology changes. Sometimes you get angry or sad or whatever. Facebook can do that too. Scrolling through your Facebook page can change your mood and your physiology because you're paying attention to those things. And so if something comes up that you don't agree with, or that you deem to be a trigger for the past for you, then it can ruin your mood, ruin your energy, have your energy plunge. So instead of watching, the best way to deal with it is to become aware of what you're doing rather than what you're thinking. So become aware of your breathing. Take a deep breath, let it out. And as you become aware, as you put your attention on your breath, the attention is no longer on your mind. It moves from watching your mind to watching your breath. That's a good way too. And another way to disarm the mind is to bring your attention into the present is count. Disarm the thoughts in your mind by counting. When you're counting, the attention is on what you're counting. Or you could do a mantra and say the mantra over and over. In this way, your mind is being used to bring you into this moment instead of being used. You've got your attention on your mind and all those thoughts are racing through your mind. And it's all that thinking that wears people down and creates depression and creates anger and judgment and criticism. It's all the thinking. As you become more and more aware and more present, you'll discover that people aren't who you thought they were. Because our thinking is so unreal. People who aren't who you thought they were, you can just be with them without any thoughts. And that's the best way to see them. And really, it's the best way to see yourself. It's without all the thoughts, all the criticisms of who you think you are, who we think we are, who we think others are, what we think this world is, are all based on personal opinions. And those opinions are coming from the mind and they're coming from our past. So it's not the reality of today. So take a moment each day to come into the present through paying attention to just little things like breathing, walking, focusing on a candle flame when you're meditating. There's so many ways to disarm the mind, and if you just start practicing, you'll find that you're able to do it almost immediately. Eventually, it becomes a lifestyle rather than a practice. Enjoy your day. Be present.